Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm going to go completely away from the introduction you have about me as a social development worker. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Tony Joy, and today, together we'll be going on a journey of self-discovery and authenticity. But for us to do this, I want you to join me. I know it's been a long day, so we'll try and make it as participatory as possible. How many of us know the put a finger down thing you see on TikTok? We know it, right? Okay, so the idea is that you have a finger, your hands, right? And then you put a finger down if any of the things I'm going to say applies to you. So can we do this together? Are we good? All right. Put a finger down if you've ever felt like changing something about your body, no matter what it is, no matter how small it is. Your nose, your eyes, you don't like the way this place looks or that. Okay, thank you. Put a finger down if you've ever felt ugly because someone said something that made you feel really down. Put a finger down if you've ever walked into a room and you feel so small or invisible because of the way you look. Put a finger down if you've ever felt too fat, too thin, too tall, too short because someone just said something at some point in your life. Now, very finally, put a finger down if you've ever felt like the body you carry, the body that you have, is going to make it difficult for you to achieve your dream. Now, before we drop our hands, I want us to do this. Just look to your left and to your right, and you will see how much each and every one of us has been affected. Thank you. We can drop our hands. All right. This is me. Yeah. I grew up hating myself. I grew up thinking I was the most ugly person on earth. I grew up thinking that I would just end up being a useless person because of what people said to me. I was the child who would always walk around with heads down because I never want to look up. To shock you guys, I never looked at a mirror for a long part of my life. Never had to look at a mirror. I never wanted to see it. And this was because of the comments that people gave about my body. You see, I remember people would say, is she a boy or a girl? I'm sure some of you have thought about it. Or people say something like, why is she trying so hard to be a boy? And the very unfortunate one I heard that broke my soul as a child was when someone said to me, she's a mistake of a girl. You know that thing they say, oh, our mother was supposed to give birth to a girl. The mother now gave birth to her. Do you know how disheartening and heartbreaking it is to say that to someone? I felt broken as a child. As if that was not enough. I go to primary school, and there's this classmate of mine, his name is Kabiru. He's a good friend now anyways. But back then, he never understood me or why I did things the way I did, because I was looking different as a girl. And the only way he could show me his disgust was to get thorns from flowers and then use them every day to scratch the back of my leg every day. Because then, when I was in school, you know, I used to play ice and water, police and thief, boxing with the guys on the field. Give me football, I'm good to go. I was never familiar with tinko. I was never familiar with the tete or the kolobi. I did not just know how to mingle in that circle. The school was trying to fix me. They said I was a misfit, I was broken. The home was trying to fix me. I remember the mighty hands of my aunt. You know when aunts want to slap you, the way they slap very heavily. She slapped my back and said, come on, look up. Walk like a girl. You are a girl. You are a girl. You are a girl. Everybody said to me, and they told me that there is a standard for being a girl. And then they told me I had to fit into that standard, of being a girl. And that I started to do. This is me, because I wanted to fit into the standard. I don't know if I can still do this, but honestly, trust me, I learned how to catwalk. Hey, I don't know how, but I learned it. Even though my hips were not moving, I had to, because I had to be a girl. I learned to look up straight, because it's the royal thing to do. Girls should do what? Chest out. I learned to sit with my legs crossed. Even though magically, trust me, they always find their ways open. I learned to be a girl. See, because I wanted to be a girl, I needed to tick all the boxes. These are standards that have been created by the society. And because I must tick these boxes, I became someone who was trying hard to fit into heels. Yeah. And just imagine me. You can see me, right? Imagine me fitting into heels. Then picture in your head that I'm trying to catwalk me. I'm grateful that there was no TikTok then. I would have been a celeb right now. Because I will always wobble. I fell severally. Fell in the church, fell at parties. I was always falling down. Always. I did all the makeup, did everything, but you see this heel, it never worked for me. See, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being female or feminine or more feminine representing as a woman. I'm saying that not everybody can fit into that box. I was thinking, when you're growing up, sometimes you think you're the only one who has certain experiences. Till I met with my friends. And while I was preparing for this speech, I decided, let me reach out to my friends again. Let's do this together. And they have given me permission to share some of their stories with you. This is my dear friend. Her name is Bella. Bella is a woman with beards. She is often judged by the society. And I can see some of us smiling because we think she's a misfit. And this is what she had to say to me. I was embarrassed in the market called My One in Port Harcourt. I was being dragged on my hands by different men. Some went as far as telling me, if I have such beards on my face, how will my pubic region be? I wanted the ground to open that day, but I've grown to love myself, and I would never change for anything. I am pretty with the beards, and that is what makes me unique. These are people who have different body from the one I carry. Meet another friend. This is her. This is the lady with beards. She had given me permission to share her full picture. She's beautiful, right? But people judge her because of what? The beards. Another friend of mine, she is a perfect size 8, the size 8 everybody is looking for. Yeah, some features according to the society are not there. But this is who she is. Small body, and you would expect that no comments negative will come our way, right? But this is what she had to say. At my sister's wedding, I was looking forward to eating all the food, especially as a chief bridesmaid, and because I like food. I was very well dressed for the occasion, and when I stepped out of the church, I met one of my mom's friends who hadn't seen me since childhood. Immediately she saw me, and after all the wow, you have grown, oh, is this you? The next thing she asked was if I ate, that I was slim and needed to eat more food so that I can add more flesh, and so I could also find a man to marry, like my sister. She goes further to say, it is wild how people are never satisfied with how others look. And when precisely, it shouldn't concern them in the first place. If you are slim, what do they say? If you add more weight, what do they say? She said now she's comfortable in her own skin. I spoke to a woman in her 50s and was heartbroken when she told me that she does not like the body she fits into, because when she walks into rooms, people do not see her because she's very small-bodied. I spoke to a friend of mine who is a size 22, and that means she's fat. And so far, what she said is the society has now decided what she should put on, what she cannot put on, where she can go. She is tagged fat, slow, sluggish, and she doesn't care for her health. That's what people think about her. But she's one of the smartest persons I've ever met. One of the smartest. But what do people see? A body. Now, all of these got me thinking, what exactly does the society want from us? They want us to shrink ourselves, dim our lights, cover our heads down and walk around with shame, or try and struggle every day to meet the standard. No, enough of that. We are here to break this beauty standards. That's what we're here for right now. We are here to break the standards. Because either you like it or not, no matter what you do, people will talk. No matter how you look, people will talk. And it has gotten as bad that right now we shame children for being children, and we want to create a perfect picture of a child. It doesn't affect women alone. I know men have, according to the society, and ideal body, right, that they should look like chiseled, six packs, and if they don't fit into that box, the selection process keeps going on. My goal today, honestly, is not to fight the panel of judges, the body judges, who always sits and has something to say about people's bodies. That's not my goal today. My goal today is to connect with you and I. Those of us that have felt broken at different points in our lives because of what people have said about the way we look. My goal today is to remind you that your body is not a mistake. You are not a mistake. It is time for us to change the narrative and show up in the world as our authentic self. It was until 2019 that I stopped being the societal definition. And I must tell you the truth. That in itself, for me, has been one of the most life-changing decisions I've made in my life. You know why? I'm proud of the way I look. Because I know I can be this person, that person, and anybody I want to be. I know I can look this way, that way, and anywhere I want to be. And today the charge I have is to remind you that there is a big connection between how you perceive your own body and your ability to live out your true self. Practical in my own life experience. You see this confident girl you see talking today would never have been able to do this. Because deep down in my head, I wasn't good enough. I can never meet any standard. I will never meet any standard. But today, as this same person, I run an organization called Durian. And what we do at Durian is we're transforming lives of women in rural communities in Nigeria. Aside from that, I am using waste as a tool to transform lives. And I'm doing all of this showing up in this body. I am a farmer. I run sustainable agricultural projects in rural communities, and I still do all of that every day, showing up in this body. Mind you, they told me I was a mistake, but the mistake is solving the world's problem today. Thank you. On my journey to self-discovery, there are 3 things I discovered that I want to share with you today that helped me build my confidence. The first, own your body. And when I mean own your body, I mean own your body. Take out time, stand in front of a mirror, and look at your body. Because that's the vessel that carries you. It's a tool. When you own your body, the second very important thing, own your inner voice. Has the world stopped talking about the way I look? No. Are people here today that still pass comments behind my back about the way I look? Yes. Would there still be people tomorrow that will talk about the way I look? Yes. But I have the power of my mind, and I own my inner voice. And in my head, I know what I am, and I know what I am not. I know I am fat. I know I am broad-shouldered. I know I am more masculine than more feminine. I know. So when you all pass comments, or when the society pass comments, it just bounces on the world that is aware of who she is. I am very much aware of who I am, and I know what I am not. So when you call me what I am not, I know I am not, so I don't owe you a reaction. You see, there's something I tell myself every day. I am light. I was born bright. It doesn't matter what the world says about me or about how I look, I am not going to dim my light. I'm going to show up in the world as my authentic self and die empty, knowing fully well that I did all I could. The third thing, build your circle of trust. The people you have around you can either build your esteem or destroy your esteem. They can either help you become better or make you feel small every day. As much as they pass passive jokes, sometimes these passive jokes really hurt our soul, but we can't stand it. We can't say anything about it because they're our friends. Build a circle of trust that would see you through your own journey of internal healing and self-discovery. There is a lot of internal work that we need to do to break free from these beauty standards that society has created. I know, for one, I know that the world needs healing. I'm very much aware of that. I know people who pass comments need healing. I'm very much aware of that. And I hope that from these they can discover how little words, comments, can break the complete human mind. But I also know that we all need healing. And honestly, it starts from now. So if you wouldn't mind, can we all stand up? Let's just do a very simple exercise. Thank you. Some silence as much as possible. Can we kindly close our eyes? Please. And as you're standing, try as much as you can to pay attention to your feet on the ground. Feel how it feels on the ground in whatever shoe you're putting on. Just bring your whole attention to your feet. Now bring your whole attention to your hand. Feel the air on it. Now to your breath. And as you get to your breath, please do take a very deep breath. Now, this is the most important part of this for me today. Please give yourself a hug. And ensure that you feel your body. Take time out to feel your body. It's yours. It's not going anywhere anytime soon except you leave. Deep down in your heart, please do apologize to your body for the many times you have felt that your body is a mistake. And for the many times you have felt that your body is not good enough. It's your choice if you want to fix anything about it, but you don't have to destroy it with your own mind. Dear friends, it's time for us to show up in the world as our authentic self, because the world is waiting for you and me to change the narrative. Let's go and break the standards. Thank you for your time.